What up, y'all? I'm back with another video. So, this is pretty much going to cover Raw and Smackdown, the Survivor Series go home angles, if you will. So, first, we're going to start off with Raw, and they start off with a tag team battle royal for the captains of the Survivor Series team for Team Raw, which nobody cares about. Braun Strowman interrupts, decimates the entire division, which once again has no credibility. And then he comes out, he's like, I want Corbin, and you won't leave until Corbin comes out. So then Stephanie McMahon comes out and says, yo, like, Braun, like, you can't be hijacking the show, bro. Like, I know you mad because of what he did at Crown Jewel in your match at Lesnar, but you gotta wait till after Survivor Series. What you want, I'll give you anything you want, just be cool. So he's like, all right, bet. I want another match with Lesnar. Done. I want Corbin. Done. I want to choose a stipulation. Done. But the only caveat is that Strowman cannot touch Corbin until after Survivor Series is over. All right. So then, cool. He gets his match. They agree to the deal. And as Stephanie is still talking to Braun, Ronda comes out. Ronda comes out and is talking about Becky Lynch and how she's gonna break Becky's arm and the whole man and feminism, and there's that women's evolution again. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I like it. It's just I hate the way how they doing it. More like a PR stunt than an actual like do good message, for lack of a better term. And she's about to come after Stephanie McMahon and do the whole arm thing again. Mind you, the whole time Steph is like acting like she's not scared at all, not really showing any type of fear. I understand she's like the alpha female on the show, but come on, man. Not Lesnar. Strowman is over there tearing down the set, flipping over ambulances and shit. You mean to tell me you ain't gonna act like you ain't scared of this dude at all? Like, come on, cut it out. So then Corbin comes out, is like, yeah, we all need to have, team unity and this, that, and third. He comes over to Ronda, puts his hand on Ronda, which was a dumb move. She flips him because Stephanie's not taking a bump and Triple H ain't doing it. So, and plus he ain't there because he recovering from his torn pectoral surgery he got in Saudi Arabia during Crown Jewel, old ass. So then that's pretty much like the end of that. Then we start off with Ember Moon versus Tamina with Nia Jax. And you're not going to believe this. And you will be hearing this correctly. But Tamina actually beat Ember Moon with the splash. And that's sad because now Ember Moon is like officially jobbing out to Tamina of all people. Now, one thing I want to say about this whole thing is funny. Is a couple weeks ago there was a backstage segment. I think Charlie Caruso might have done it with Nia Jax and Tamina, and they said something about it's about family. Now we know Nia Jax is The Rock's cousin. Tamina ain't done nothing in years. People said was surprised that she was even with the company when she came back to Raw. So like Tamina actually getting a win is like, okay. I mean, congratulations to her, I guess. But it's like over Ember Moon. That's ridiculous. That makes absolutely no sense. No sense whatsoever. So then we go to a recap of the Stephen Dean story. And then Corey Graves has an in-ring interview with Seth Rollins before Dean actually responds and felt like the Shield was making him weak. And goes on about how he was the most insignificant member of the Shield, which is sad but true. Sad but true. But so yeah, he takes his Shield vest and throws it into an oil can on fire. And then we go to another recap of Drew McIntyre making Kurt Angle tap to the ankle lock, which was really hard to watch. When they said it was hard to watch on TV, I thought it was a bit of a exaggeration, but it really was. But I guess that's like the symbolic torch passing to the new top dog in the company, which is soon to be Drew McIntyre, more than likely, because it's been stated that not on WWE TV, but reports and whatnot that Strowman isn't going to be involved in the Universal Championship picture anymore after this, and that Drew's going to be set up to get the big push. So props to Drew, somebody who's definitely deserving of the Universal Championship and could possibly bring some prestige to it finally, because it never really had prestige in the first place. It had a chance with Balor, but obviously his injury forced him to give it up the next night, so that wasn't going to happen. So speaking of which, as McIntyre and Ziggler in the ring, and McIntyre's cutting a promo, Balor interrupts and then challenges Drew McIntyre. And then McIntyre's like, yo, like, all right, I'll have a match with you, but you got to be like Dolph. And then maybe like I'll stoop to your level. I guess it's a short joke because Drew is taller than obviously both Dolph and Drew and Dolph. So I mean Finn, my bad, y'all, my bad. So then Balor wins with a pinfall after the coup de grace, and soon he gets a future match with Drew McIntyre at some point. Then from there we got the Paul Heyman come out, cut a promo on AJ Styles, setting up for Survivor Series. Then we actually have the tag team battle royal match, which Chad Gable and Bobby Roode won. Nobody cares about that. Then we have Alexa Bliss in the main event of the evening, which is kind of despicable, the fact that she has concussions and all of these injuries, yet they still find a way to put her on TV. Anybody else, they got to be like off TV, I guess. Alexa, anyway. Yeah, she comes out and makes her choices for the Survivor Series team. Mind you, got Nia Jax, Tamina, and Natalia, and I forgot who the other one was. But then again, you had for the last spot, she wanted Sasha Banks Bailey to fight for the last spot, which went to a no contest, and then Ruby Riott was announced as the fifth member. So you got, who is it? Natalia, Nia Jax, Tamina, Ruby Riott, and I honestly I forgot who the other person was at this moment, but it's a pretty bad team to establish for a Survivor Series match. But then we go to the back where Becky Lynch has Ronda Rousey and the Disarmer in the locker room, and all the women are in the front. Where's everybody at? SmackDown Women's Division comes from out the stands and attacks the Raw locker room. Becky Lynch comes outside. Everybody's fighting. At one point, Nia Jax punched Becky Lynch in the face and literally broke it. So she has a broken face and a severe concussion right now, which means that the Survivor Series match for Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch has now been canceled because of this injury. So now we go to SmackDown, which was last night, and we start off with AJ Styles in the ring. AJ Styles is cutting a promo for the Survivor Series match against Brock Lesnar on Sunday. And then Paul Heyman is interrupting and says that pretty much AJ Styles is the second best person on SmackDown behind Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan comes out interrupting, like, yo, like, why is my name even in y'all mouth? Like, I'm not even in the match at Survivor Series. So they go talk about disrespect and how Bryan feels disrespected. A brawl ensues and goes backstage after commercial. Then Shane announced that it's going to be Bryan versus Styles for the WWE title tonight. Well, not tonight, but last night. Then we go to our first match of the evening, which is Jeff Hardy versus Andrade Cien Almas. And then Jeff wins by pinfall. Now, after that, we go to a backstage segment with Paige and The Miz. and Joe, and how she Paige is like, okay, well now because Daniel Bryan's in this WWE title match, he's off the Survivor Series team, so now Miz is the sole captain. Miz is like, okay, so now since I'm the captain, Mysterio got to get off the team because he was Daniel Bryan's pick, and we don't want no remnants of Daniel Bryan being on his team. So Paige is like, okay, you the captain, but I'm the GM. So if you want Ray off the team, you got to beat him. Ray like, I bet we gonna go out and fight. They go out and fight. Ray wins, so Ray's still on the team. Randy comes out after the match, gives Miz an RKO that was meant for Mysterio, but Mysterio got out of the ring. So yay. Then we go to Becky Lynch choosing the replacement for her match at Survivor Series against Ronda Rousey. You got all the women coming out. You got the Iconics. You got Lana, Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose. Who else? Asuka, Carmella, Naomi, and pretty much the entire and Charlotte. So the whole women's division comes out. Obviously, everybody knows that Charlotte's going to be the one to be picked, despite having this whole big giant feud that they having over the women's title right now. I would have picked Asuka if anything, because to save the build up, for WrestleMania at some point, whether it's Ronda versus Becky or Ronda versus Charlotte, or even the Four Horsewomen versus the whole Four Horsewomen, which I honestly think could be happening now with this blessing in disguise of this injury to Becky Lynch. Now a lot of people was mad, and rightfully so, because that was like the biggest match that everybody was looking forward to. I mean, Brock and AJ was cool, but we saw that last year. But it wouldn't be a problem if we saw it again. But yeah. So Charlotte pretty much is chosen to be Ronda Rousey's replacement. Then we got a tag team match, a 6-man tag between the New Day and the Bar, in which the Bar won, setting up for their match for AOP on Sunday, Raw Tag Team Champions. Then we have the WWE Championship match, AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan. And all in all, I can't remember the last time this has happened, but we got a heel turn. So Daniel Bryan is heel now. But in addition to that, he's also WWE champion. So that throws another, swerve in the Survivor Series plans, because now instead of Brock versus AJ2, we got Brock versus Daniel Bryan, which is a dream match that everybody has wanted to see for years, if not over a decade. But in this state, I don't know, because Daniel Bryan is nowhere near ready to be fighting Brock Lesnar. He literally just came back. So, and he's had matches, but he hasn't had really too many matches, and I think Lesnar's too much of a brute for Bryan right now. Not saying that Bryan can't do it. I just mean this is crazy. So Bryan hits AJ with a low blow after a ref bump and gets the win. And then they go off with Bryan looking at AJ while he's on the floor unconscious. So now we got all this stuff coming in the Sunday with Survivor Series, and I think this Ronda and Becky thing, because Becky said it wasn't over, and that is something that I want to see now, because Becky then elevated the company, not just the women's division, but the entire company, to a point that hasn't really been seen or felt. It's not felt in the mainstream as it was 20 years ago, really during the Attitude Era. But Becky is kind of bringing the company back to that point with the things that she's doing, with the pops that she's getting. She's more over than most of the dudes on the men's roster, all of the dudes on the men's roster. Really. Not just the women's roster, but everywhere. Becky is WWE now. And nobody would have ever thought this. I don't even think Becky would have thought this, and she absolutely deserves it. One thing that I am glad about is that even though she's injured right now, but she did not relinquish the title. So Becky is still women's champion right now. Even though Charlotte is the replacement. It's not champion versus champion, but it's still Raw versus Smackdown. So we'll see what goes on later in the day, it's been rumors that Shane might replace himself on the Survivor Series team on Sunday. Quite frankly, Andrade Almas should be on the team. Instead of maybe not even Mysterio, because to showcase the up and coming talent that they do have. Like Bobby Lashley is on Raw's team instead of Elias, when Elias is way more deserving of having that TV time and that character development and that in ring work to improve. Like the same thing with Almas, or even Sand. Well, Sand, that's the whole tag team thing. So, and more than likely, if Orton isn't a replacement or Almas, AJ is gonna pretty much swap with Daniel Bryan being in the Survivor Series team slot or whatever. It's just a lot going on. Like in the Attitude Era, they had chaos, but it was controlled chaos. Like it was a whole bunch going on, but everybody knew what was going on. Now everybody's just like, what the hell? Like with the like chickens with their heads cut off. So they need to get that in order. But this has really been more of a blessing than anything, at least from my standpoint. Becky gets some time to recuperate while still being champion. It can go back into her feud when she comes back and see if they get started with the Horsewoman versus Horsewoman feud, because Shayna Baszler could be called up after Survivor Series. That way you got two women on the Raw roster to start that, and then you got the other two on the SmackDown roster. You could have Maria Shafir and Jessamine Duke get called up to SmackDown, while Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey be on Raw. And then you got those two with Sasha Banks and Bayley being on Raw with the Horsewomen, and then Shafir and Duke on SmackDown with Banks and I mean not Banks, Charlotte and Becky on SmackDown, with them coming together at WrestleMania to culminate with that feud. But with that being said, that's all I got for now. If anything comes up later throughout the day, I'll do my best to upload. Thank you for clicking the video. Like, and please feel free to leave a like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. I definitely want to hear y'all feedback and what y'all think. I want to get to interact with my audience more. And yeah, so I hope all y'all have a good day. We're going to get ready for NXT UK a little bit later, and then the NXT main show, where they go home and go for War Games Takeover on Saturday. So with that being said, once again, thank you. Like, share, subscribe, comment, hit the bell for all notifications whenever another video go live. So I'll see y'all later and have a good day. Ding, ding, ding.